This woman's from Syria. We're calling her Razan. At 25, it's the first time she's worn a full veil, a necessity for the journey she's about to make, from the country where she sought refuge to the town she was born in, on the banks of the Euphrates.
I'm going back wearing a niqab. I have to wear one to get into my hometown. I'm taking a small handbag. I've cut out a little circle for the lens and I've slipped the camera inside. I've sewn on some little accessories to hide the lens.
Razan is from Raqqa, bastion of the Islamic State organization. On June the 29th, 2014, the jihadists announced the creation of their caliphate, a word harking back to the conquest of vast parts of the Middle East by followers of the Prophet Muhammad. In these images, they can be seen parading in the town centre in US armoured vehicles captured from the Iraqi army. Tanks, personnel carriers, pickups, equipped with heavy machine guns and anti-aircraft weaponry. 2 months previously, and after a dangerous journey, Razan arrives at the last checkpoint on the way into town, armed with her camera and niqab.
I'm doing all of this for my country, for Syria and Raqqa. It's the only means of fighting I can think of. I managed to film one of the checkpoints. They only let their own people through. I don't know how I did it. God must have blinded them, but I managed to get through a place which, for me, is the most dangerous on earth. What have we done? What have we done to make you tell us we should be afraid of Allah? It's not like this anywhere else on earth. Only in Raqqa do all the women wear the niqab.
As far as we're concerned, we're just looking after the zones we control.
Everyone should practice their religion in their own way.
Brother, they're wearing the niqab out of fear.
I said that to you because her veil's a bit transparent.
No, son, it's because she was too hot. We even had to open the window so she could have a bit of air.
On Raqqa's buildings and monuments, black paint and Islamic slogans. For months, Razan and thousands of others protested here, vowing to overthrow President Assad. Normal life has returned, but fighters from the Islamic State organization are now part of the decor. Men and women, sometimes with their families, patrol the streets they've made their own.
What struck me was that this young child was with his parents, and they were armed. I asked myself, what kind of person is this child going to be when he grows up? I followed them into the park. They sat down, and I sat down opposite them. It wasn't long before a patrol arrived. A man and a woman. Sorry, I don't understand.
Aren't you ashamed? We can see your face.
Really? I'm so sorry. Maybe my veil is a bit transparent. Please forgive me.
Your face is visible. Cover up. God only likes covered women.
I'm sorry. Forgive me.
Razan decides to speak to the family she followed into the park.
Hello. I left the house and forgot to check if my niqab was on properly. Is it really transparent? Can you see my face through it?
Yes, you can see it.
Not really.
Okay.
The woman doesn't seem to understand much. Razan guesses she's European.
The next day, I went to an internet cafe. I had no particular aim. I just wanted to go on the web. I'd hardly sat down when this Tunisian woman, a jihadi, came up, and I felt like I had to give her my computer. Inside the cafe, there were 4 or 5 other women.
Roseanne's curious as to the women's backgrounds.
Every time I tried asking them where they were from and what they were doing here, I got no answer. But eventually, one did speak to me. She said she'd come from France, and I asked if she was French in origin. She said, yes, I'm French in origin, and I used to live in France. When I asked her why she came here, she said, to fight against Bashar al-Assad and against the Free Syrian Army.
Experts say about 20% of Islamic State organization fighters are neither Iraqi nor Syrian. These internet chats are in French.
Tu m'attends 2 minutes, je vais vite fait aller la voir. Je t'ai dit, ça sert à rien de pleurer ou d'avoir peur ou quoi. Ce que tu vois à la télé, c'est faux. T'as compris? Ils exagèrent tout à la télé. Ils exagèrent tout. J'ai pas pris le risque de venir ici pour revenir en France. Je ne reviendrai pas en France. J'ai pas envie de revenir. Parce que je suis bien ici. Il y a tout ici. Mais moi, je t'assure. qu'il y a tout ici, il y a tout ici. Il y a quoi, c'est tout?
Most of these young women don't speak Arabic. They've left France for good to live in Syria. Many have come with or to meet the fighters they're married to. At the heart of the Islamic State organization's propaganda machine are videos like these, produced using slick Western techniques. Dramatic, violent, and effective. Not least in the more deprived neighborhoods in Raqqa.
They had a lot of influence in the poor districts and near their posts and checkpoints. They'd even set up a base in the regional council HQ. They controlled all the streets nearby. They also took the Bishara church and the governor's palace, where they'd set up a hospital. In this neighborhood, they confiscated about 100 homes from people who'd fled town. They just moved in there.
Little by little, the jihadists are taking charge of daily life in their de facto capital.
They move around with their wives and children and couples. They go shopping at the market. When they go into shops, they pay everything in cash and never negotiate the price.
This foreign fighter has his shopping list translated for him by a fellow jihadist. A novel experience for the shopkeeper. Black market petrol sales, donations from supporters, tolls levied on travellers. The Islamic State organization has plenty of money. When the call for prayer comes, Roseanne's amazed by Raqqa's newfound enthusiasm for religion.
There's more people praying in the streets now because the mosques are all full. As soon as the call to prayer sounds, you see the shutters coming down on all the shops.
In another propaganda video, this jihadist, stick in hand, makes sure everyone goes to prayers.
As you can see, thanks to God, we don't even need to remind them to go and pray. They do it all by themselves.
Those who don't go to prayers have their shops shut for a month and they're sent to prison. They're whipped and have to pay a 750 euro fine.
وجلد.
For more serious offences, the strictest of Sharia laws applied. Thieves have their hands cut off. This woman's stoned for adultery. This man was found guilty of fraud and murder. He was killed and his body displayed in public for 3 days.
It gets to people. Every 2 to 3 days, they kill somebody and put the body on display. They behead people, shoot them dead, but nobody really knows why people are executed.
And nobody's above the law. The jihadists also kill their own. This fighter was executed after being found guilty of extortion. Posters like these are displayed wherever the Islamic State organisation is in control. They inform people that every complaint against its own fighters will be investigated. Nearly 4 years into this bloody civil war, Raqqa's feeding a population increased by the number of displaced people. Thousands came here during the few months when the town was one of the safest in Syria.
Hello, what are you waiting for?
Food from the volunteers.
What's in the container? Just soup?
Yeah, just soup.
Do you come every day?
Yes, every day. Sometimes they give us pasta or rice.
Where are you from?
Raqqa. What else can we do? We have nothing left to eat.
Hello, little one. What's that?
It's a bucket.
You bring the empty ones from home, you eat here, and then you take the rest home?
Yeah.
Before leaving Syria, Razan wants to see the school children she used to tutor between anti-government protests.
When I came before the Islamic State organization arrived, I could feel the children's love for life. They were very attached to their way of living. They liked capoeira, they had open-door sessions, they did it in the streets and courtyards. They loved it. It was as if they were learning something they'd never done before.
These days, the children are still dancing, but in secret.
Since they came, there's been no more dancing. It's been 2 months since we did capoeira, and I really miss it. I miss this place. I have a lot of happy memories here.
5 months have passed since this footage was shot. 5 months in which the government bombardments have continued, and in which the jihadis have tightened their grip on Raqqa. Now people there also face US-led airstrikes. As ever in this war, children are in the firing line.
A look there at life in Raqqa under the Islamic State flag, a film made by a young Syrian student armed only with a GoPro camera and, of course, a good deal of courage. Well, that brings us to the end of today's programme. You can catch up with previous episodes of Reporters, though, at our website, and I'll be back again soon with another look at a report filed by one of our correspondents around the world. Goodbye for now.